I'm sure I'll have results within a week. Li Maoran was surprised. This kid isn't joking. Marrying into the Tong family is not the time. Li Maoran quickly stopped him. Wait a minute, there's no need for that now. Tell me first, what's your ultimate goal? Wu Chen said bluntly, I just want Ding Rulong to die. Because your daughter is really charming. Ding Rulong wants to steal my woman. If I don't kill him, he'll come to kill me. One of us will definitely die. We won't stop until one of us dies, so Ding Rulong must die. Li Maoran asked again, then what about the Wei family's underground forces on your side? Wu Chen replied frankly, that's right, if Uncle doesn't give up Rubing and me in the next half a year, I'll tell you. Li Maoran decided to make a compromise. Okay, that's decided. 2 hours later, in the room, Li Rubing was still trying to eavesdrop. She held the small shovel and thought to herself, a small shovel like this probably won't make any sound. I don't believe that I can't make the wall thinner today. Li Rutai quickly stopped her. Sister, stop. Your father and brother-in-law are coming out. Li Rubing was shocked. Oh, let's go. When they reached the door, Li Rubing quickly hugged Wu Chen's arm. Honey, are you done talking? Wu Chen turned to Li Rubing and said, yes. Li Rubing stood in front of Wu Chen. Don't it? Wu Chen asked, all right, I won't tease you anymore. I gave Ding Rulong's dark materials to your father and also talked about some things about the Wei family. Wu Chen talked about the story of Tong Yuan Dao and He Shiken. Li Rubing thought to himself, which means that once the Tong Yuan Dao bomb explodes, there will be more and more people who want to kill Ding Rulong. Li Rubing grabbed Wu Chen's collar. You did a good job, Master Wu Chen, or should I give you a reward? Wu Chen asked back, are you sure, right here? It's possible that there are many people watching us from the other side. Li Rubing pushed Wu Chen away. What are you thinking? Let's just say that you're good, my beloved Master Wu Chen. Even if you're capable, I still don't like you. Wu Chen asked cheerfully, don't you like me too? Is this your way of showing love? Li Rubing tittied her hair. I have to admit that you have everything that I ever imagined in a partner, especially your strength. Yes, I've fallen for you, but even if I love you, I won't be an obedient cat for you. So you should be the obedient one, Master Wu Chen. Wu Chen clapped his hands. Wow, what a wonderful performance. Dear Miss Li, I wish you success. By the way, didn't you want to reward me just now? Here, give me a massage, Li Rubing replied. Then you should beg me. If you beg me, I'll give you a massage. Wu Chen put his hands behind his head. I don't want to beg you. It seems like I'll just have to find someone else. Li Rubing turned her head and asked, who? Su Qinjiang. Wu Chen clicked his tongue. No way, Qinjiang is very busy with her work. I won't bother her. Li Rubing raised her eyebrows. Then who? Wu Chen winked. She's not my woman yet, but if it's just getting to know her so that she can massage my shoulders, that's as easy as pie. She's younger than you, prettier than you, and her family is richer than yours. Li Rubing asked again, who is she? Someone from Donghai. Wu Chen dialed a number. Don't guess anymore. You won't be able to guess, I'm on speakerphone. After a few beeps, the person on the other end picked up. Hello, may I help you? Wu Chen quickly replied, hello, classmate Song, I also studied at Donghai University. I just graduated this year. I heard from my friends that classmate Song is currently composing music, right? Yes, the person on the other end replied, you're my senior, you really have songs. Wu Chen replied, oh, there are all kinds of songs for you to enjoy. The person on the other end replied quickly, everyone says that. It's been many times now, but none of them are any good. I might as well write them myself. Wu Chen gave her a suggestion. You can check out my songs first. The person on the other end hesitated for a moment before replying, okay, if you have time now, senior, come to the CBD coffee shop. Wu Chen agreed, okay, I'll see you later. Li Rubing thought to herself, a woman with better looks and wealth than her, from Donghai University, the Song family. But there were no Song's family among the top 10 wealthy families in Donghai. Wait, could it be her? Li Rubing asked, Master Wu Chen, it's not Wu Yurong, is it? Wu Chen replied, yes, she's Wu Yurong's daughter. Li Rubing exclaimed, you want to mess with Wu Yurong's daughter? And you want her to massage your shoulders? Aren't you afraid that Wu Yurong will find out? Wu Yurong is my idol. She's one of the top 3 richest families in Donghai. She's the daughter of Wu Weidong, the president of Rongxi Group. After her divorce, she won the custody of her daughter in a cruel business competition with the Song family. She destroyed the old Song family and forced her ex-husband, Song Gofu, to become a cuckold. The business world in Donghai would frown upon her when her name was mentioned. Wu Chen chuckled. I know all that, but I also know another name she had when she was younger. The #1 beauty of Donghai, Black Widow. Li Rubing was worried. Please, think twice before you do anything reckless, okay? It's just a massage. Come to my place tonight. I'll not only give you a massage, I'll also give you. Don't go looking for Wu Yurong's daughter, Song Juan. Wu Chen was a little unhappy. Rubing, I think you've misunderstood something. Looking for Song Juan, even messing with her, is just a piece of cake for me, understand? Li Rubing was even more furious. What do you want to do in the end? Wu Chen patted Li Rubing's shoulder. Stop thinking nonsense. I'm not going to harm you. Relax a little. I'm leaving now. A moment later, at the CBD coffee shop, Wu Chen opened the door first. Classmate Song Juan also looked over. You're my senior. It's nice to meet you. I'm Song Juan. Wu Chen shook Song Juan's hand. Hello, I'm Wu Chen, Song Juan asked politely. Senior, please sit down. Would you like something to drink? Wu Chen declined. No, thank you. Song Juan didn't beat around the bush. Okay, so you've brought the songs then? Are they melodies or lyrics? Wu Chen asked back. Do you have any paper and pens with you? Song Juan was a little confused. Yes, I do. What are you going to do? Wu Chen smiled. What else? I'm going to write them down for you. Song Juan was surprised. What? You're going to write them now? For me? Wu Chen pointed to his head. I've memorized them all. Song Juan asked suspiciously. Senior, you're not joking with me, are you? That would be a waste of time. Wu Chen took the pen and notebook from Song Juan and started writing. After 10 minutes, Wu Chen had finished writing the lyrics. Song Juan read the title of the song, Antidote to the Soul. Song Juan was secretly surprised. He even wrote the arrangement and made notes on the musical instruments used in the arrangement. This senior Wu Chen couldn't be trying to fool her, could he? However, she sang it in her mind and felt that this song was better than some of the songs she had recorded before. Wu Chen said, Classmate Song, are you buying them? Song Juan's eyes lit up. Yes. Wu Chen asked, how much can you offer? Song Juan offered 1,000. Wu Chen was dissatisfied. I've already done the arrangement. Song Juan offered another price, 2,000. Wu Chen narrowed his eyes. That's still too low. Song Juan continued to increase the price, 3,000. Wu Chen directly stated the price he wanted, 100,000. Song Juan was shocked. Senior, are you just playing with me? Do I look like an easy target to you? Wu Chen didn't even bother with Song Juan's attitude, 100,000. Classmate Song, you just have to tell me whether you agree or not. The price is non-negotiable. I still have a few more songs, and they're all at this price. Song Juan pushed the notebook back towards Wu Chen. Of course I won't agree. Wu Chen pushed the notebook back to Song Juan's side. Then there's nothing else to talk about. Although we just met, I believe that classmate Song won't be the kind of person who would plagiarize music. I won't take the lyrics back. The notebook is quite beautiful. It wouldn't be perfect anymore if I tore 2 pages off. I'm going now. Song Juan cursed. What a weirdo. Then Wu Chen went to a studio. The receptionist greeted him. Hello. Wu Chen directly stated his request. I want to record a song. Rent a recording studio for 3 hours. The receptionist quickly led the way. Yes, this way, please. Wu Chen thought to himself, in his past life, this song, An Antidote to the Soul, has been proven countless times to be a song that will become popular within a day. Classmate Song, I'll wait for you to come back and find me. The receptionist led Wu Chen into the recording studio and asked, would you like a sound engineer or a dubbing expert? Wu Chen declined. No need. I can do it myself. 3 hours later, Wu Chen thought to himself, I'm done recording. I should go home and send the song. As Wu Chen was going down to the basement to get his car, his phone rang. Su Qinjiang asked Wu Chen, "Why didn't you answer my calls after 3 hours?" Wu Chen replied calmly, "Qinjiang, I had something to do earlier. What's the matter?" Su Qinjiang said happily, "Tiantian has started her internship at Jinfu. She no longer needs to study abroad." Wu Chen fastened his seatbelt. "That's great. Qinjiang, you're amazing." Su Qinjiang said sadly, "Wu Chen, I can't go to see you today. I have to go home. Or else, if I don't go home every day, people will get suspicious." Wu Chen comforted her, "It's okay. I also have something to do today." Su Qinjiang replied softly, "Okay, go ahead with your work. I'll see you another day." As Wu Chen was driving, he noticed a car following him. Wu Chen glanced at the license plate and thought to himself, "This is not a Donghai license plate. It must be someone from Ding Rulong." He still had to send the song, so he didn't want to play with them for now. Wu Chen quickly shook off the tail and went home. After returning home, Wu Chen sat down at his desk and came up with a stage name for uploading the song. Chenwu. Chenwu was the reverse pronunciation of Wu Chen. Perhaps Song Zhuan would recognize it. Next, he just had to wait for the song to go viral. At 7 o'clock the next day, Wu Chen walked to his desk with a thought in his mind. After a night, it's time to see the results of the spirit relief elixir. Suddenly, Wu Chen noticed something was wrong in the house. The direction of the vase had changed, and the position of the cushion on the sofa had shifted slightly to the right. Those people must have been watching him without him knowing, and had even followed him into his house. The pinhole camera and wiretaps must be somewhere here. They wanted to play, so he would give them a chance today. Wu Chen picked up his phone. "My dear Miss Li, do you have nothing to do today?" Li Rubing quickly replied, "Don't, I was just about to call you." "You're quite obedient. We can talk about Song Zhuan slowly." Wu Chen agreed. "All right, I'll come to your company on time." Wu Chen got into his car and began to think. The chances of something happening today were very high, but everything was under control. A car blocked Wu Chen's path, forcing him to slow down. The sound of the tires rubbing against the road was deafening. Wu Chen glanced at his surroundings. "We're here." He couldn't go forward or turn left or right. He understood. These thugs wanted to stage a casual accident, which had a 100% fatality rate. However, he had already memorized the license plate number. At the same time, Wu Chen's car exploded, and the airbag inflated. Wu Chen calmly said, "Reset time." Time rewound to 7 o'clock in the morning. Wu Chen lay on the bed and sneered. "Now, it's my turn." Wu Chen picked up the phone and called Li Rutoi. Li Rutoi answered quickly. "Hello." Wu Chen calmly instructed, "Ding Rulong's men have arrived in Donghai. There are 2 refrigerated trucks, 1 black SUV, and 1 black pickup truck. The license plate numbers are XXX30 and 2030. They will attack you soon." Li Rutoi cursed, "Damn it. Rest assured, I'll make arrangements immediately." Wu Chen added, "You must succeed." Wu Chen thought it might be difficult to find Ding Rulong's men if they want to hide, but it's impossible not to find their cars on the road. It was not easy to take action on the main roads, so he headed to the underground parking lot of the Xiamen shopping center. As soon as Wu Chen got out of his car, Li Rutoi called, "Are you all right?" "I've sent people to search the roads personally." Wu Chen replied, "I'm near the east side of the shopping center. Those cars are following me. Tell your men to be careful." After saying that, Wu Chen hung up and thought happily, "Now, it's time to wait for Ding Rulong's successor." The thugs in the pickup truck saw this and said, "Damn, we've been discovered. Change plans, we have to go back immediately." At that moment, a 16-seater van crashed into the pickup truck. The driver of the pickup truck stuck his head out and shouted, "Do you know how to drive?" Wang Zhongyuan led a group of men out of the van. "You don't know how to drive? How about you take a ride with us?" Subsequently, all of the drivers who had been sent to attack Wu Chen were arrested. Zhong Chuan reported to Ding Rulong, "Boss, our men have been captured by Li Rutoi." Ding Rulong roared, "In that case, let's switch to plan B. Wu Chen must die today. Attack while the Li sisters are still unprotected." Zhong Chuan gave the order, "Old C, double the bounty. Clean up the Wu Chen mess in the Xiamen shopping center parking lot, finish the job and leave immediately." 20 minutes later, at the Xiamen shopping center, Wu Chen received a call from Li Rubing. "We've caught all the men." "Where are you?" Wu Chen replied. "Xiamen shopping center." "What's the matter?" Li Rubing ordered. "Find a crowded place. I'll be there immediately. Listen to me." Wu Chen stood in front of the elevator. "My dear Miss Li, I'll do as you say." Wu Chen stepped into the elevator and noticed that the camera had been broken. He guessed that the assassin had arrived. When the elevator doors opened, Wu Chen was surrounded by a group of men. The elevator doors closed, and they all charged towards Wu Chen, each of them holding a knife. Wu Chen narrowed his eyes and fought back fiercely. With one hand, he grabbed the wrist of an assassin and dislocated his joint. Wu Chen then kicked another assassin in the stomach. At the same time, 2 assassins rushed towards Wu Chen with their knives. One of them swung his knife, but Wu Chen dodged it quickly. The assassin was shocked speechless. Wu Chen seized the opportunity and punched him in the face. While Wu Chen was fighting the assassins, Li Rubing was also frantically searching for him. "Where is he? I can't even get through to his phone." "Search everywhere. Find Wu Chen quickly." The servant beside her reported. "Miss, he's in the elevator." Li Rubing rushed over. "Which floor?" The servant quickly replied. "The ground floor." Li Rubing shouted. "Hurry up." When they arrived, the elevator was just coming down. As the elevator doors opened, they saw an assassin's head slamming into the ground. Wu Chen was still holding an assassin by the head, his clothes torn. Li Rubing was surprised. Wu Chen calmly stepped out of the elevator. "Oh, my dear Miss Li," Li Rubing ran over excitedly. Wu Chen asked sharply, "What are you doing? Aren't you afraid of ruining your clothes?" Li Rubing said, "You still have the energy to talk, so you must not be seriously injured. Let's go to the hospital." Wu Chen asked. "Go to the hospital for what?" Li Rubing was worried. "You're covered in blood. Don't you know where you're injured?" Wu Chen teased Li Rubing again. "I'm not injured. But you've been here for dozens of minutes. You took advantage of me. I'm not someone who will suffer losses. I have to touch you," Li Rubing still said worriedly. "You can't fight against 6 assassins with knives. Are you really okay? My goodness." Wu Chen replied, "That's right, but you've already dirtied my clothes. I'll have to go back and change. But there's one more thing I need to do first." "Found it." Wu Chen took out Lao Diao's phone and sent a dozen photos to Zhong Chuan. Zhong Chuan immediately called back. "Lao Dao, are you done?" "Where are you guys now?" Wu Chen said sarcastically. "I sent you the photos. Aren't you going to look at them?" Zhong Chuan asked in confusion. "Who are these photos of?" "Why do you have Lao Diao's phone?" Wu Chen said. "Zhong Chuan, send the photos to Ding Rulong and tell him that his days are numbered." After saying that, Wu Chen turned off the phone immediately and handed it to Li Rubing's assistant. "Call an ambulance. The person whose phone I'm using has to live." The assistant acknowledged. "Yes, sir." Wu Chen turned to Li Rubing. "By the way, Rubing, I'm going to leave Donghai for the time being and go to the south." Li Rubing grabbed his hand. "You want to go kill Ding Rulong?" Li Rubing kissed Wu Chen and said, "My love, don't go." Wu Chen rubbed Li Rubing's hand. "It's not good to kiss me like this. Go home and take a bath before kissing me." Li Rubing blushed and didn't know what to say. On the other side of Donghai, in Building 3 of the CBD, Song Zhuan exclaimed, "Impossible, impossible, a song written in a week." A friend explained, "I heard it last night before I went to bed." "It's quite good." Song Zhuan looked at the screen. There were already more than 4,000 comments, all of which were good. There were also many experts discussing the singer's skills. Song Zhuan thought to herself, "That's exactly what Senior Wu Chen said about Antidote to the Soul at that time." Song Xuan's friend said, "Song Zhuan, in this day and age, who still writes music by hand?" Song Zhuan stepped out onto the balcony and thought to herself, "Oh no, I had to find Senior Wu Chen to confirm." At this time, in Wu Chen's house, Li Rubing had just finished taking a shower and was drying her hair when she saw Wu Chen's phone ringing. Li Rubing thought, Wu Chen's phone. Could it be that Ding Rulong wanted to cause trouble again? With that thought, Li Rubing picked up the phone. "What do you want? Are you trying to die?" Song Zhuan on the other end was a little confused. "Hello, isn't this Senior Wu Chen?" I'm looking for Senior to talk about the song. Li Rubing was a little wary. What about the song? Speak directly, I'll pass it on. Song Juan hesitated. Well, don't misunderstand. You're really Senior Wu Chen's girlfriend, right? I had a little misunderstanding with him yesterday. I wanted to apologize to Senior. Li Rubing still didn't understand. The song, apologize. What are you apologizing for? Song Juan really doubted if she was Senior Wu Chen's girlfriend. She didn't even know about Senior's song. This was really strange. Li Rubing was furious. You doubt me? Wait a minute. Li Rubing knocked on the bathroom door. My love, open the door. Your junior is calling. Wu Chen opened the door and took the phone from Li Rubing. Wu Chen said, Who is it? Oh, classmate Song. Let's find a place to talk later. Okay, no problem. Wu Chen hung up the phone and explained to Li Rubing that Song Juan wanted to buy the song he had written. Li Rubing approached Wu Chen. My dear Wu Chen, you're really talented. Wu Chen said happily, You haven't finished taking a bath, my dear Li Rubing. Li Rubing put her arms around Wu Chen's neck. Can you tell me what else you can do? Ho, Wu Chen lowered his voice. Rubing, you're playing with fire. Just as the two of them were getting intimate, the phone rang. Li Rubing felt strange. Who's calling? At this time, Li Rubing picked up the phone. It was Ding Rulong. Wu Chen turned around and went into the bathroom. It's okay, listen, I'll get a towel. On the other end, Ding Rulong began to speak. Rubing, cough cough, I think I have to explain to you, today's matter was not arranged by me. Zhong Xuan took the initiative. He misunderstood my intentions. Li Rubing said sarcastically, I said it. A few small fries can't possibly be people of young Master Ding. Coming to Donghai to cause trouble but ending up being killed is not young Master Ding's style. As Li Rubing spoke, she leaned into Wu Chen's arms. Wu Chen also cooperated and asked, Oh, my love, it's Ding Rulong. Li Rubing replied, That's right, young Master Ding, it's him. Wu Chen patted Li Rubing's thigh. Wow, you're so rude. My woman can't say such vulgar words. Li Rubing also teased him. Oh my on Master Ding, look, he even made me blush. Ding Rulong gritted his teeth on the other end of the line. Wu Chen continued, Do you know what's wrong? If you don't, I'll have to spank you. Li Rubing deliberately lowered her voice. I know I'm wrong, I'm wronged. I won't say vulgar words anymore. Don't spank me, hubby. Ding Rulong was so angry that he threw his phone at the wall. In the darkness, he even stomped on the phone. On this side, Li Rubing said, The phone has been hung up. The sound just now must be him smashing the phone. Don't you think it's possible to make him die of anger? Wu Chen said, It would be too easy to make him die of anger. Li Rubing frowned. Forget about him, my dear Wu Chen. What did you say just now? You want to spank me? Wu Chen raised his hands in surrender. These things can actually be arranged according to your wishes. By the way, I'm going to meet Wu Yurong later. She definitely call you. Just cooperate with her, okay? Li Rubing asked, Meet Wu Yurong, don't you mean Song Juan? Wu Chen explained that he was meeting Song Juan, but he might also be meeting Wu Yurong. She would definitely ask to meet him today. Just then, Li Rutai walked in. Brother-in-law. Brother-in-law, today's incident was my fault. I promise it will never happen again. Brother-in-law, if you need any bodyguards, just tell me. Li Rubing interrupted. Rutai, don't think I don't know what you're thinking. Let me tell you, don't make a big deal out of this. Li Rutai said angrily, Brother-in-law, how many times has this happened? You're lucky that brother-in-law is okay today. What about next time? No one can guarantee that he won't be killed. Li Rubing stood up and said, Go and persuade him. Wu Chen calmly asked, Rutai, has that old man been rescued? Li Rutai quickly replied, The person brother-in-law asked me to save. He's been rescued, Wu Chen said again. That's good. I need to talk to him in private. Li Rutai was a little confused. Brother-in-law, what do you mean? Does he know Ding Rulong's weakness? Wu Chen smiled, Of course. When I talk to him, you can come and listen. But you have to promise me now that you won't act rashly. Li Rutai affirmed, as long as Ding Rulong dies. I'll listen to whatever brother-in-law says. Li Rubing sighed in relief. Wu Chen said as he put on his clothes. Rubing, Rutai, you two sisters talk for a while. I have something to attend to. I'll be back later. A moment later, Wu Chen arrived at the place where Song Juan had made an appointment. Behind him, a detective had secretly taken a picture. Wu Chen walked into the coffee shop. As soon as he entered, Wu Chen opened his mouth first. Classmate Song Juan said, Senior. He saw Song Juan stammering. Wu Chen asked, What's wrong, classmate Song? Song Juan immediately replied, Senior, is your family a restaurant owner? Wu Chen did not deny it. That's right, a small shop. Song Juan continued to express his doubts. Senior, your girlfriend seems to be over 40 years old. Senior, are you being kept by a rich woman? The price of that song is so high. Are you using the money to get rid of her? I don't dare let her know. Wu Chen found it a little funny after hearing this. Huff. Song Juan felt angry. Senior, you're still laughing. I feel wronged for you. Your talent shouldn't be buried with that old woman. Senior, you want to earn money and be independent. I can help you. Believe me, Senior. Look at the results of Soul Antidote. You're already famous. Do you know that? A big company will sign a contract with you. You can become a star. Wu Chen pushed Song Juan's hand away and said, I won't sign the contract. There are many things that are not what you think. Let's talk about the main topic. You asked me out here for buy a song. Only then did Song Juan remember, right, buying a song. Senior, write another one for me. Wu Chen directly stated a price. 100,000. Song Juan immediately agreed. Okay, I'll pay. Wu Chen made another condition. I want 50% of the song's net proceeds. Song Juan still readily agreed. No problem. Senior, just maintain the level of Soul Antidote. Wu Chen agreed without hesitation. Paper and pen, or I'll return the money. 10 minutes later, Song Juan picked up the paper and read the song that was dedicated to him. Song Juan thought to himself, this is the song he gave to me, Senior. Before Song Juan could continue thinking, Wu Chen had already stood up. I've gotten the money. It's okay. I have something else to do. I'm going first. Wu Chen thought to himself, the appetizer is ready. It's time for the main course. But I think it's better to get rid of these middlemen. Wu Chen stepped on the gas and easily dodged the white cars. The driver of the white car called to report, Boss, the person didn't get on, but... The person on the other end of the line shouted impatiently, But what? The driver of the car continued to report, he seemed to know you was looking for him. He drove to the bottom floor of your company by himself. The person on the other end of the line was a little intrigued. Oh, interesting. Bring him to the 16th floor. A moment later, Wu Chen was brought to the door of the room. Chili said, Boss, the person is here. The person in the room said, Come in. Chili gestured, Mr. Wu, please. Wu Chen faced the president of the Ziluan Group, Wu Yurong, the Blask widow of the Donghai business world. Beside Wu Yurong was Wu Yurong's personal bodyguard, Li Yan, a retired special forces soldier. Wu Chen opened his mouth and said, Miss Wu, it seems a little impolite to invite me like this, doesn't it? Wu Yurong replied calmly, Mr. Wu, I don't know what your purpose is, but you're the one who's being impolite. Wu Yurong said to Li Yan, Get out. As Li Yan passed by Wu Chen, he said, Don't make a big deal out of this. Wu Yurong said again, Mr. Wu, please have a seat. Tell me, what is your purpose in approaching my daughter? It can't be that you're short of money, right? Does that Li Rubin girl know about this? Wu Chen sat down. Miss Wu, why are you so concerned about someone else's daughter? Wu Yurong raised his eyebrows. Wu Chen continued, Miss Wu, at the age of 20, you were forced by your family to get married. You agreed to the condition with your parents that you would not be in charge of your husband after giving birth. After marrying, you put a knife under your pillow every night to share a room with your husband. Every time he used his strength, he would be pushed back by a knife. You always use excuses like gaining weight, stretch marks, being unattractive, and being weak to make him have no more reason to continue being angry. You are really awesome. You deliberately created a style that as long as you are given more time, he will be able to accept the atmosphere of being a couple. You made him agree to let others bear children for you. Unexpectedly, after Song Juan was born, You turned her face and refused to acknowledge her. You waged a trade war with your husband's family. What happened after that, everyone knows. Wu Yurong felt quite interested. You actually know about this, it's strange. Song Tong is already dead. If Mr. Wu wants to tell others about these things, go ahead and say it. I don't care about them. Let's still talk about Song Juan, however. I warn you, even though she's not my biological daughter, there's still my blood flowing in her veins. If you want to harm her, I'll kill you. It's best to give up on that idea. Wu Chen crossed his arms and looked at Wu Yurong. Miss Wu, you can investigate. I believe that Miss Wu will soon understand that my focus is not on your daughter, but on you. Because I have some thoughts about you. Wu Yurong stroked her hair. Young people nowadays are really bold, Mr. Wu. I don't know what you mean by that. Wu Chen replied. It's very complicated. Although Miss Wu is beautiful, he is too cautious, especially with men. As a result, I have no choice but to take this approach, forcing Miss Wu to take the initiative to meet me. Wu Yurong stood up and walked towards Wu Chen. It's very complicated. How complicated can it be for adults to do some things? Mr. Wu, does that Li Rubing girl know about this? Does she know whether you have complicated thoughts about me? Wu Chen calmly replied, of course she knows. Wu Yurong moved closer to Wu Chen's face. Since that's the case, everyone is here to confront each other. Say it more clearly and specifically. What are your complicated thoughts about me? Wu Chen continued, Miss Wu, have you heard of Ding Rulong? He wants to kill me. Wu Yurong responded, of course I have, but none of this has anything to do with me. Wu Chen slowly got up. I will definitely kill him. Wu Yurong sneered, oh wow, well, do your best then. Whatever, Wu Chen continued. That's why I'm here to alert Miss Wu that you should withdraw your investment in Sichuan Hongzhou as soon as possible. Wu Yurong's voice grew louder. The matters between the Li family and Ding Rulong have nothing to do with my investment in Sichuan Hongzhou. Wu Chen explained, the source of Sichuan Hangzhou's wealth comes from overseas trade. The accidents that Miss Wu has experienced in the past 5 years at the San Lin Group all stemmed from my actions. Wu Yurong lowered his face and stared at Wu Chen. Mr. Wu, are you trying to provoke me? Wu Chen denied it. The person I want to provoke is Ding Rulong. Miss Wu was just an unfortunate victim. Wu Yurong stated, I have no dealings with Ding Rulong. I'm not interested in what goes on between you. Wu Chen interjected, but Miss Wu does have connections. The CEO of Sichuan Hongzhou, Ho Wanchu, is also the second largest shareholder of Beiwang, and the person controlling Beiwang's shares is Ding Weifeng. Wu Yurong added, he is known as Ding Sonye in the underworld, a prominent figure in the second generation of Ding family. Old Ding's third son, Wu Chen continued, and the third uncle of Ding Rulong. Wu Yurong grew impatient. We've been going around in circles for so long, Mr. Wu. I have no association with Ding Weifeng or Beiwang's shares. Wu Chen said, perhaps Miss Wu is unaware of the strong relationship between Ho Wanchu and Ding family. Once something happens to Ding family, the tremors will affect Miss Wu through Ho Wanchu. Wu Yurong almost roared, Ding family. Wu Yurong thought to herself, Li Rubing hasn't even settled his score with Ding family yet. How could someone like him, without any backing, possibly bring down Ding family? Wu Chen ignored Wu Yurong's attitude and said, Li Rubing cares about you a lot. She looks up to you as a role model. That's why I'm here today, to revere you. Wu Yurong thought, this is a very far-fetched reason. He then mentioned Li Rubing again, just to use her as a stepping stone. With that in mind, Wu Yurong immediately took out his phone and dialed a number. Hello, is this Director Li from Hongfo Business? Li Rubing quickly replied, yes, Mrs. Wu. Hello, Wu Yurong said, your boyfriend is currently here with me. Li Rubing answered, I know, he mentioned it to me earlier. Wu Yurong asked, he wants to provoke Ding family. Do you know about this, Director Li? Li Rubing replied, yes. Wu Yurong asked again, well, what do you think, as his girlfriend? Li Rubing cut Wu Yurong off. Mrs. Wu, he talked to my father about it. I'm not sure about the details. You can discuss it with Wu Chen. After saying that, Li Rubing hung up the phone. Wu Yurong thought to himself, bypassing Li Rubing and directly joining forces with Li family. Isn't Li family collaborating with Ding family? What kind of extraordinary ability does this Wu Chen have? It seemed that she had to have a formal conversation with him. After that, Wu Yurong changed her tone. Mr. Wu, we've been talking for a while now. Are you thirsty? Would you like to have a drink? Red wine or champagne? Wu Chen answered, red wine, thank you. Wu Yurong took out a bottle of red wine from the wine cabinet and poured two glasses, handing one to Wu Chen. Then, she turned on the soft music and chatted with Wu Chen over drinks. Half an hour later, Wu Chen had fully explained the relationship and benefits between Ding Rulong, Ho Wanchu, and Wu Yurong. Suddenly, Wu Yurong stood up and asked, would you like another drink? As Wu Yurong spoke, she walked towards the wine cabinet. Mr. Wu, this 2,000-year-old red wine is from the Patras winery. Suddenly, Wu Yurong slipped. Her entire body and the red wine bottle fell onto the floor. Wu Chen quickly went to help. Be careful. Wu Yurong turned around. I'm sorry, Mr. Wu. I didn't know you were here. Wu Chen replied. It's fine. Miss Wu spilling wine is a waste. Wu Yurong blushed. I'm sorry. Maybe I drank too fast just now. Wu Chen thought to himself, although Wu Yurong was distrustful towards men, her sexual orientation was very normal. Her sexual desires were not low at all. She was similar to Li Rubing. The man she desired had to be strong. To capture her, he had to first establish an important foundation, physical contact. Now that the conditions were ripe, the final step would also follow his rhythm. Wu Chen picked up the red wine bottle. Miss Wu, you seem to have made a bit of a mistake. I think I should head back now. Wu Yurong said, it's okay, I'll just have a little more. It's nice to meet you today, Mr. Wu. We haven't finished our talk yet. As Wu Yurong spoke, she staggered. Wu Chen reminded her, Miss Wu, be careful. Wu Yurong removed her shoes with one hand and leaned against Wu Chen with the other. It's okay, it's okay. My shoes are in the way. After Wu Yurong took off her shoes, Wu Chen immediately carried her upstairs to the guest bedroom. Wu Yurong thought to herself, so he's still a man after all. This young man did it on purpose. In the past 4 to 5 years, she had never met anyone so audacious. Wu Chen calmly placed Wu Yurong on the couch. If Miss Wu still wants to drink and chat, then let's continue. Wu Yurong asked, Mr. Wu, you carried me on purpose, didn't you? Wu Chen replied bluntly, I did it intentionally. Wu Yurong thought to herself, this really is a detestable man. I really wanted to strangle him to death. Wu Chen quickly realized that Wu Yurong was feeling uncomfortable, but pretended to be indifferent. Miss Wu, isn't this what you wanted? Isn't this what you said after you were drunk and couldn't stand steadily while laughing and wearing high heels? Isn't this what you intended? Wu Yurong was surprised. She didn't expect that Wu Chen had already seen through her previous plan. Wu Chen moved closer to Wu Yurong's face. Miss Wu, thank you for giving me this opportunity, but I don't think it's necessary for you to use the methods you use on those other men on me. Miss Wu, I understand you, even better than you understand yourself, so let's talk normally. I didn't come here to create conflicts or seek revenge. Wu Yurong was unhappy. Are you being too self-confident? How can you understand me better than I understand myself? Wu Chen continued to sip his tea. Miss Wu, you're not a virgin, are you? You instructed those debt collectors to chase him to the rooftop and humiliate him. That poor man couldn't bear this kind of stimulation and collapsed. By the way, this is a secret. Miss Wu, you're 42 years old this year, and you're still a virgin, right? When you're lonely at night, you'll take out the toy in the last drawer of your bedside table, right? Miss Wu, I can totally understand that you're crazy about that kind of thing at your age. It's all caused by hormones. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Have you ever thought that if you could do it all over again, you wouldn't live such a miserable life? Just like the lyrics in your song, a mad and crazy heart is brighter than a rotten and decadent love. After the bed curtain is opened in the dark night, my heart is older than the sunset in the dusk. Wu Yurong was shocked. 12 years ago, on the night of her birthday, she wrote a song in a fit of intoxication. No one else in the world knew about a mad and crazy heart. How did he know? Wu Chen said again, Miss Wu, would you like another drink? Wu Yurong frowned. Who exactly are you? She had never met anyone as strange as Wu Chen, even among those who came from extraordinary backgrounds around her. What kind of special abilities did he have? He was too terrifying. Wu Chen shook his glass of wine. Miss Wu, don't be too surprised, I know more than that, like how you stole the latest design from the Song family, or how you plan to frame Zhao Huanan, Jin Shijin, and Fen Lin. Miss Wu, I told you, I understand you better than you understand yourself. I said I didn't come here to seek revenge. Wu Yurong thought to herself, he knows enough to put her in prison and make her unable to live in peace. Now she had two choices. Either find a way to kill him and make him disappear, or develop an intimate relationship with him and use his abilities to her advantage. However, he was so mysterious that the possibility of him disappearing was extremely low, which meant that she actually only had one choice. He was indeed handsome and young. Wu Yurong said, "Okay, if we're not going to kill each other, let's get down to business. Mr. Wu, you want to deal with the Ding family, so you want to get rid of the obstacle, right?" Wu Yurong took a glass of wine from Wu Chen as she spoke. "Miss Wu, I've been distancing myself from Miss Wu. This process will be sped up. I hope that Miss Wu can join my side. Not only will you be safe, but your career will continue to grow." Wu Yurong said, "Mr. Wu, you're really trying your best for Miss Li, but your princess won't let her biological father go, right?" Wu Chen said calmly, "Si Qingjing is also my woman. She's not ordinary. Li Rubing is nothing." Wu Yurong sighed. No wonder the Jinfu Group's board of directors was so chaotic. As she spoke, Wu Yurong thought to herself, if that was the case, then even if she continued to make progress, she wouldn't be able to come between their love. Since Li Rubing didn't care, she wouldn't have any more trouble. She had made up her mind. Wu Yurong put down the wine glass. "We've had enough of this. Why don't you come to my house to drink tea and sober up, Mr. Wu?" Wu Chen put her shoes on and said to Wu Yurong, "If Miss Wu wants to drink tea, then let's drink tea." Wu Yurong asked as she walked out the door, "Do you have a lot of time today, Mr. Wu?" Wu Chen replied, "Of course I do." Wu Yurong suddenly pounced on Wu Chen and kissed him. Wu Chen said, "This should be done by men." At the door, the two of them kissed passionately. Wu Chen's hand began to move. "Miss Wu, there's no hurry." Wu Chen gently picked up Wu Yurong. "I said, we have plenty of time." Wu Chen put Wu Yurong on the bed and began to unbutton his clothes. "Miss Wu, let's take our time." Wu Yurong put her arm around Wu Chen's neck. "Then you have to work hard." When Song Zhuan came home the next day, she found an extra pair of shoes at the door. Song Zhuan was terrified. "Mom, are you home?" "Mom, don't scare me." At this time, Wu Yurong, who was in the room, heard the voice and immediately jumped up. "I know Song Zhuan, she's back." Wu Chen, quickly hide under the bed. Just then, Song Zhuan opened the door and came in. Mom. Wu Yurong pulled the blanket and said, Song Zhuan." Song Zhuan turned to leave. "I was wrong. I thought there was a thief in the house. It turns out that it's some uncle. I'm leaving." Wu Yurong said nothing. Wu Chen looked up from under the bed. "Uncle." Suddenly, Wu Chen's phone rang. It was Li Rubing calling. Wu Yurong quickly picked up the phone. "Hello, is this?" Wu Yurong said calmly, "He forgot his phone at my place." Li Rubing replied, "Mrs. Wu, Wu Chen went to find you so early in the morning." Wu Yurong said with a hint of intention, "It wasn't him." Li Rubing was puzzled. "Not him. It was you who asked him to come." Wu Yurong denied it. "No." Li Rubing realized that something was wrong. "Where are you two?" Wu Yurong replied, "My house." Li Rubing was silent for a moment before saying, "Mrs. Wu spent the night with Wu Chen last night. The two of you slept together." Wu Yurong affirmed, "Yes." On this side, Li Rubing thought to herself, Wu Chen had conquered Wu Yurong yesterday. He was really amazing. She couldn't control him. This was really annoying. Li Rubing said slowly, "Mrs. Wu, I think we need to talk about something." Wu Yurong was calm. "Come over, Nancheng." Wu Chen asked, "Rubing." Wu Yurong got out of bed. "Oh, she be here soon. I'm going to take a bath first." Wu Yurong walked out and saw that Song Zhuan was still outside. "You've only just arrived and you're leaving already." Song Zhuan replied, "Mom, I won't disturb you and Uncle." "Mom, who is Uncle? Have I met him before?" Wu Yurong asked back, "Why are you asking this?" Song Zhuan still insisted on knowing. "Although it's a little awkward today, there's no better time to meet than today." We'll get to know each other sooner or later anyway. Wu Yurong didn't say anything and only reached out to stroke Song Xuan's head. Song Juan didn't stay any longer. If you don't want to tell me, that's fine. Mom, you can introduce me to him next time. I'll go first. Wu Yurong smiled. This child. For minutes later, Li Rubing rang the doorbell. Wu Chen opened the door. Li Rubing was a little jealous. My dear Wu Chen, you always bring me surprises. Wu Chen smiled. Thank you. Are you jealous? Li Rubing walked past Wu Chen. I know you're very capable, but can you not provoke me for a day? Can't you let me worrying for a while? Wu Chen lowered his head and said, Rubing, I love you. Li Rubing was surprised. He suddenly said such uncharacteristic words. The fearless Wu Chen actually spoke such intimate words to her. Phew, she almost lost control. Li Rubing calmed herself down. Who else have you said these things to? Wu Chen replied. No one. Li Rubing smiled. My dear Wu Chen, I love you too. Wu Chen hugged Li Rubing from behind. Li Rubing said, wait a minute. What if Su Qinjiang makes a fuss, or that other woman today? What if they deliberately make trouble? What should you do? Wu Chen affirmed, it's okay, no one will make trouble. Li Rubing replied, okay, I got it. Wu Chen turned to the door. I'll go home first. You and Mrs. Wu should talk in private. Wu Chen left and Wu Yurong appeared. I've kept Miss Li waiting for a long time. Li Rubing was a little annoyed. Mrs. Wu, we're all very busy. Let's skip the unnecessary things and be straightforward. Wu Yurong asked again, what does Miss Li mean? Li Rubing said slowly, shouldn't you apologize to me? Wu Yurong held back her laughter. Miss Li, I don't understand why I should apologize to you. Li Rubing didn't beat around the bush. You slept with my man, do you want to say hello to me? Wu Yurong said again, is that necessary? He's not going to marry me. I'm not thinking about remarrying either, we're just enjoying life. Miss 51, there are no obstacles to your future together. Li Rubing mocked, you are not the first or the last woman who wants to sleep with Wu Chen, you guys are no different. Wu Yurong said calmly, I didn't expect that Su Qinjiang wouldn't put any pressure on you, but you would confront me alone. Are you not confident? I heard that Miss Li hasn't lived with Wu Chen yet, right? Li Rubing didn't deny it. Yes, my Wu Chen is a bit unpredictable. He once said that he could become Su Qinjiang's man in a day, and he did it. Su Qinjiang was willing to be his concubine, but now Mrs. Wu is the same. Isn't this very magical? Wu Yurong thought to herself, she's saying that Su Qinjiang and I can only be concubines. No, that's not right. Not afraid to ruin Ding family. Wu Chen wants more. This meant that he wanted to win Li Rubing's heart first. This kind of patience was different from Su Qinjiang's and hers. It was his exclusive favor and bias towards Li Rubing. Li Rubing said again, Mrs. Wu, I'll give you one more chance. Wu Yurong didn't give in. Miss Li, you're really aggressive. Li Rubing moved closer to Wu Yurong. Get down on your knees and apologize to me. Wu Yurong said in a coquettish voice. Oh, suddenly, she kissed Li Rubing on the forehead. Li Rubing was so surprised that he couldn't speak. What was Wu Yurong doing? What did she mean by kissing me? Li Rubing muttered to himself, completely unable to understand. Wu Yurong also had her own thoughts. Miss Li, I understand your feelings. This is Wu Chen kissing me, I'm returning it to you. Wu Yurong stroked her hair. I apologize to you, are you satisfied now? Li Rubing was furious. You. Wu Yurong suddenly looked regretful. That's right, Miss Li, it's a pity that you weren't here yesterday. If the three of us had been together, Li Rubing blushed. How could she agree to such nonsense? Wu Yurong licked her lips. Miss Li, have you felt my sincerity in my apology? Or else, Li Rubing gritted her teeth. Madam Wu, please respect yourself. Li Rubing thought to herself, only someone with a sick body or mind could say such things. There was no need to be polite to such a person. Li Rubing turned and left. We have nothing more to say. Goodbye. Wu Yurong thought to herself, I can't change my relationship with her directly. Either we become sisters or we don't interfere with each other. Therefore, I have to use this method to force her to leave. After all, I've already tasted Wu Chen after leaving Wu Yurong's house. Li Rubing immediately called Wu Chen. Wu Chen asked, "Is it done?" Li Rubing complained, "Wu Chen, next time you look for a woman, can you find someone normal? Why is everyone so sick?" Wu Chen was a little curious. What did she do? Li Rubing said furiously, "I know Su Qinjing is a little strange. The one today is even worse. Forget it. It's all over. Let's not talk about it anymore." After Li Rubing hung up the phone, Wu Chen thought to himself, it seems that Wu Yurong is capable of handling things well. She won't let Rubing fall into a passive position. Wu Yurong probably wouldn't provoke Li Rubing in the future. After all, Li Rubing was still willing to go to extremes, but Wu Yurong still wanted more. Wu Chen recalled Wu Yurong's words, "Don't worry too much about me." Just then, a disciple called to report, "Brother, Lao Dao has escaped." A few minutes earlier, in the hospital, Li Rutai entered the ward and began to interrogate. "You're the person in charge of this area. It's easy to kill you. Do you want me to kill you?" Continued to pretend to be mute. "Who are your clients in Donghai? What's your plan next?" Because he refused to talk, so Li Rutai put a gun to his head. Wang Zhuangyuan said, Brother, we will come to interrogate him himself later. It's not good for you to shoot him now." Li Rutai let go of Lao Dao and lit a cigarette for himself. "Indeed, it's not appropriate. Brothers, let's go outside and smoke. Don't disturb him." As soon as Li Rutai walked out of the ward, he heard a scream. "Oh, where's the patient? Where has the patient gone?" When Li Rutai rushed back to the ward, the nurse stammered, "The patient is gone." Li Rutai cursed, "Damn it," Wang Zhuangyuan said, "Brother, look, the window is open." Li Rutai looked out of the window. Even though Lao Dao was injured, he still had the strength to climb down the water pipe and escape. Li Rutai immediately reported it to Wu Chen. "He disappeared as soon as I smoked a cigarette. But brother, don't worry, my men are already searching for him. He's seriously injured, so he can't have gone far. We'll definitely find him." Wu Chen frowned. "Why are you explaining so much to me? What are you trying to hide?" Wu Chen thought to himself, "Before I met Lao Dao, the only person who could put pressure on him was Li Rutai. Now, with this unexplainable mistake, the result is clear." On the other side, Li Rutai quickly denied it. "Brother, I. Wu Chen interrupted him. "Okay, I understand, I'll find him." Li Rutai quickly said, "Yes, brother. Hang up the phone, let me help you find him." Wu Chen began to disguise himself. From the memories of his 1,000 years of reincarnation, he remembered the places where Lao Dao might go. Perhaps it was only there. "Lao Dao, you can't escape. We're bound to meet again." Wu Chen recalled, Tongson style, Xinda No, 2, Xincheng district. If he remembered correctly, it was here. Ding Rulong had a few safe rooms in Donghai for his subordinates to hide in, called safe houses. This one was the only safe house that hadn't been used yet. The key was still there. Lao Dao was badly injured when he escaped, and he was wearing a hospital gown. He had to find a way to change his clothes and avoid Li Rutai's men on the way. He definitely couldn't be fast. After entering the room, Wu Chen secretly assessed it. The interior was complete and even a bit cozy. There was no dust, and it was very clean. Someone must have cleaned the place up. It was very thoughtful of them to add a hint of human presence to this room that hadn't been inhabited for many years. Suddenly, it didn't seem strange that someone had come. It seemed that the only thing they had left in this room was a suitcase. Wu Chen skillfully took out the suitcase and began to unlock it. In just a moment, the suitcase was opened. Wu Chen praised himself silently. It was a pity that opening suitcases was the most basic skill he had mastered in his 1,000-year cycle of reincarnation. The lock had been unlocked. Wu Chen opened the suitcase. Inside, there were documents, money, a phone, a pistol, and a dagger. Wu Chen secretly assessed the situation. With these things, Lao Dao would definitely come. Wu Chen make a call for Li Rutai. Li Rutai quickly replied, "Yes, brother, did you find him?" Wu Chen didn't answer directly and said, "Call the hospital and send an ambulance to Xindan Road No. 2. Wu Chen had just hung up the phone when Lao Dao opened the door and entered. Lao Dao leaned against the door and let out a sigh of relief. He had finally found a place where he could be safe again. but Lao Dao quickly discovered that there was someone in the room. He pointed his knife at the dark figure. However, Wu Chen easily blocked his attack. Wu Chen said, "What are you doing?" Lao Dao quickly drew back his hand and threw another stab as fast as lightning. Wu Chen easily dodged it again. Only then did Lao Dao realize that the black figure was Wu Chen. Lao Dao thought to himself, not to mention that he was injured now. Even if he wasn't, he still wouldn't be able to defeat him. Wu Chen saw that Lao Dao was letting his guard down. "If I wanted to kill you, you would have died in that elevator. I've called an ambulance for you. You won't be able to handle the torture with your injuries." Lao Dao was still thinking. It seemed that he didn't want to fight. If that was the case, he might be able to escape. Wu Chen sat down on the chair naturally. "Mo Lingshan, you really doesn't want to talk to me?" Lao Dao was shocked. At the age of 21, he had created the scene of an accidental car death, deceived the police, and escaped to Myanmar. He had changed his name 4 times before finally changing it to Liu Yundao. Even the Jin Hua group and Ding Jia didn't know that his real name was Mo Lingshan. How did he know the name of a person who had already died according to the law? It meant that he must have also found out about his parents and sister. For his family, he had no choice but to risk his life today. Seeing that Lao Dao was about to risk his life, Wu Chen slowly stood up. "Perhaps you're right. Protecting one's family from harm is what every man should do. Lao Dao, I'll give you a chance." Seeing Wu Chen put the gun on the table, Lao Dao thought to himself, the only chance was to get the gun. Wu Chen knew what Lao Dao was thinking. He just folded his arms and watched. "Pick up the gun. There are bullets in it. Then you can shoot me directly and kill me. Or there are no bullets in the gun, and I'm just playing with you. Lao Dao, you choose." Lao Dao felt that his blood was boiling. Was it really possible to gamble like this? Lao Dao thought to himself, what kind of king bullshit is this? Holding a gun is a trap. The distance is too close. Holding a gun, aiming, and shooting would take 3 movements. Facing Wu Chen, these 3 movements were equivalent to giving him free rein. Lao Dao put his hand down. "You think I don't dare to kill you?" Wu Chen became even more interested. "You're not afraid?" "Lao Dao, you really are Lao Dao. You get anxious about everything you do. That's right. I know all the things that you've never spoken a word about." Lao Dao said, "You don't have to say these things. They don't mean anything." Wu Chen said, "I told you, I just want to talk to you." "What do you want to talk about?" Lao Dao asked slowly. "Don't worry. I won't tell Li Rutoi about the Ding family's affairs." Wu Chen negated him. "You don't need to tell me all of that. For example, Ding Rulong's fatal secret information, Wang Yuida's secret skill from the Wang family, and the one he arranged for you to kill." Lao Dao was shocked. Only 3 people in the world knew something that only Ding Rulong, me, and the leader of the Jin Hua group. How did he know about this? Wu Chen continued, "There's also Engi Tun." Lao Dao began to recall information about Engi Tun. Engi Tun was one of the core figures of the Jin Hua group. He was the nephew of the leader and the most powerful candidate to succeed the group. 5 years ago, he died suddenly. He had been ordered by the leader of the family to find the murderer, but he hadn't found anything for many years. This was the greatest regret of his life. It was his unfulfilled wish to find the murderer who had killed Engi Tun. Wu Chen added, "This is Ding Rulong's second piece of secret information." Lao Dao said suspiciously, "What kind of secret information is this? You don't have any evidence. How dare you talk nonsense?" He thought to himself. First, he gave out some real information. Then, he mixed it in with false information. In fact, he just wanted to make him rebel against Ding family. Lao Dao didn't hesitate to pick up the gun on the table and pointed it at Wu Chen's face. We have nothing more to say. When he saw Wu Chen smile, Lao Dao grabbed a pillow and covered the gun. "You're still smiling. You're not afraid." Wu Chen replied, "I believe you won't use the gun to shoot me." Lao Dao felt a chill down his spine. He didn't feel any fear at all. He didn't have any hesitation at all. This was the first time he had met someone like this. Lao Dao also said, "If you're using your life to believe in me, then I'll also believe what you said about Engi Tun being killed by Ding Rulong." Wu Chen said slowly, "You're talking as if I'm lying to you." You're not going to pursue this matter. What a pity. I won't talk nonsense and deceive you. Here, I'll show you the evidence. Luo Dao was shocked. What? There's really evidence? Wu Chen only replied, come here and take a look. After sitting down, Wu Chen took out his phone. Luo Dao, if you really want to know the truth, then I need you to do something. You only need to deceive one person, and he will tell you everything. Luo Dao said, who is it? Wu Chen handed the phone to Luo Dao. Call Zhang Chuan and tell him that you escaped. He'll ask you what happened. Just say that Li Rubing brought